riding with you into sunnier days. I wouldn't want it any other way. Taking the good with the ups and downs. I wanna see how the world turns round. Let's go adventure in the deep blue sea. Home is with you wherever that may be. Home is with you wherever that may be.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We are going on an adventure day. We are going to take you to the San Antonio Riverwalk. We are going to go on a river tour, which is something I've never done.
A boat.
And we're going to bring you guys along.
We're going on the boat.
That looks really cool. We'll have to come back for that, bud. Peter dancing around. Whoa, look at that. That's a pretty big candy shop there.
I'm gonna go in there.
Oh, I don't know. It's dangerous in there. All right, first stop, the Alamo. Straight ahead. We had a squirrel moment. Really want to check out the shop. Yep, let's go inside. I know, it says it's open.
Mom, look in there.
That looks fancy. No. That's a hotel. Let's stay out. Come on. Sheriff Peter.
Sheriff Peter.
Let me see it, bud. Nice. So cute. Oh, what's in here?
A dining room.
A dining room? That's what you think this is? Are you having fun? Yeah? Was that cool seeing the Alamo? Is it cool seeing the Alamo?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, you went through a fence and you're not allowed to go through a fence. You have to come on through again. Smile, look at mommy. Smile, look at mommy. Peter, look, smile. Let's go in the gift shop, buddy. Peter, what is this?
Bald eagle.
Good job, Jane. We purchased our tickets at Lackland Air Force Base ITT office for the Go Rio Boat Tour. This tour leaves every 15 minutes and it's about 35 minutes long. And plan ahead because lines today are crazy. I think we're going to be in line for a good hour. It's not usually this crazy, but just plan ahead depending on when you come. So what color boat do you want to go on?
Blue.
You want to go on the blue one? All right, let's see which one we get. What do you want to see on the boat tour?
Everything.
Everything, but what is the number one thing you want to see on the boat tour?
Seen lights.
What?
A dark.
Lights at dark?
Yep.
Well, it's not going to get dark for a few hours, so what else?
Having fun.
Oh, you just want to have fun. I think that's the number one goal here is just to have fun, huh?
and team lights.
And sea lights. The boat finally showed up, and the line is all the way over there, all across that bridge. Very long line here. All right, we're moving. We're getting on the boat.
I shall be your boat captain here today. My name is Jeremy, built from 1967 to 68 with a record-breaking 202 working days, using a very unique building method back then. You look at this Fulton here was built right next door to La Vita on this hilltop here. One of the first ever settlements in all of San Antonio. Settled up here in 1722 as a neighborhood for families of Spanish soldiers. From themselves were stationed out of the first mission founded down here. As well as the Arneson River Theater right here. Very popular outdoor river theater right here. Just had many different shows and events take place here throughout the years. And has even been featured in the movie. They filmed here at this theater for the swimsuit scene of the original Miss Congeniality with Sandra Bullock. In fact, go back and watch that movie. You can even see one of these tour boats sailing right through this theater in the middle of the scene. And Sandra Bullock was standing just on the stage to the Wawa boat. If you go back and watch that movie, just behind Sandra Bullock above the stage, you'll see these 5 bronze bells up here, which themselves were all originally put up here to honor the 5 Spanish missions that were founded down here, including San Antonio de Valero, which was originally founded once again in 1718, San Jose, founded 2 years later in 1720, San Juan, Concepcion, and Espada, all founded 11 years later in 1731. As we leave the Arneson River Theater, though, coming up to the roundabout boat, we're going to sail by a sculpture up here, which depicts an old cattle driver that used to come through town in the mid-1800s, back when San Antonio was a big cattle and ranching town, before the arrival of the railroad in 1877. This sculpture right here sits right in front of the Briscoe Western Art Museum, itself having been founded in 2013 and named in honor of Dolph Briscoe Jr., a former governor of Texas, whom himself had an extensive collection of wild Western art and memorabilia. It's all collected on the inside of this museum to this day, including Santa Anna's ceremonial dagger, one of Pancho Villa's old saddles, diorama, the Battle of the Alamo, and also a neat little recorded live interview with the architect, Ted Kelsey, who designed the sculpture behind us. It's going to mark, we'll go ahead and sail underneath Presser Street Bridge right here, and as we sail out from underneath Presser Street Bridge, on the other side, we're going to be sailing by Malzene's Table, coming up to the water boat. Diamond-shaped iron sculpture over here that was placed here in 1991 to honor the 300th anniversary of the first Catholic Mass that occurred along this river, which was on June 13th of 1691 by the missionary Damien Malzene, hence Malzene's Table, which sits right on top of Marriage Island here, this little outcropping of land here, again off to the right side of our boat, sticking out in front of the Hotel Contessa, known as Marriage Island right here, because it is in fact the most popular place along the Riverwalk for getting married at, hence Marriage Island. In fact, they even did have a wedding take place just about 40 minutes ago when I came by through here on my last tour, and that recently wedded couple are on the other side of this bridge, just ahead of us, having their pictures taken right here. I guess. As a result, as we sail on by here, folks, give them a round of applause right here, huh? Congratulations there, folks. They're having their photo taken, of course, just in front of the Westin Hotel here itself, the last major hotel to ever open along the Riverwalk in the last century. Opened in November of 1999, just across the river from the Tower Life building, way up to the left of our boat in the sky right here. This very popular fixture, the San Antonio skyline right here, which itself opened to the public on June 1st, 1929, is the Smith & Young Tower, named after its original owners, the Smith brothers, and their lawyer, J.W. Young, who wanted to build this big, huge complex of buildings on this whole area of land to our left, which they planned would be similar to New York City's Rockefeller Center. So we're going to call that project Bowen's Island Skyscrapers, with the Smith & Young Tower here as the centerpiece. Unfortunately, once again, this building opened to the public on June 1st, 1929. Stock market crashed just a few months later. Smith & Young went bankrupt, had to sell this property, and eventually it switched hands over the years, and since then, it's become home up here to the Tower Life Insurance Company, hence the Tower Life building. Although if you do look just below the second floor windows here, you'll see these stone faces. These are called grotesque. These stone faces, or grotesque, were in fact put up here by Smith & Young in the 1920s, originally in order to ward off the evil spirits and bad businesses. So of course that didn't work, since again, stock market crashed just a few months later, which has the Bear County Courthouse just past it, up ahead of us. This big red building here that was founded up here over a century ago in 1896, and thus is considered the oldest continuously operating courthouse in all of Texas. It's going to mark where we'll be exiting Gate 4 right here, which just as we approach this archway in front of our boat here, if you look to either side of the boat here, you'll see these metal walls. These mark where there is a drawbridge in the water that comes up along with the rest of this flood channel out here during heavy rains and major flooding, so as to make sure the water levels behind us within the main worship area of the Riverwalk remain the same at all times. As we enter into this flood channel, it has floodgate 5, 200 yards to the left of our boat, the top of a waterfall down there, which has the new marina off to the right side of it. And that waterfall down there is about 15 feet deep, with the Riverwalk continuing on down past that waterfall, alongside the backs of the homes of the King Williams district. Lovely old German neighborhood down there that's very popular to take a nice leisurely stroll through during the day. Although, it's just down to that waterfall, floodgate 5 there, which is where they drain the Riverwalk every few years. In fact, they did it earlier this year in January, although I don't think they're going to be doing it this coming year. But yeah, they do empty out this whole thing here for a full week in January every couple of years. Again, all the way down to that waterfall, floodgate 5 behind us, so that they can clean out the riverbed here. A lot of the weird stuff that they sometimes find in it. Over the years, in this riverbed, they have found plenty of wallets, cell phones, pagers, jewelry, glasses, silverware, TV sets, mattress springs, patio furniture, traffic cones, e-scooters, folding chairs, Fiesta bees, laptops, articles of clothing. One time, they even found an engagement ring in the river. Now, they we suspect said no. You look in front of our boat and above here at the corner, you'll see the largest and oldest tree along the entire Riverwalk. Over 9 stories tall and over 300 years old, known as the Ben Milam cypress tree, or Ben Milam sniper tree, in honor of Benjamin Rush Milam, one of the heroes of the Texan Revolution. He was the leader of the Texas rebellious forces for the first half of the Battle of Bear, which was the final battle of the Texan Revolution before the Battle of the Alamo. Rejoined the natural flow of the river and sailed underneath floodgate 3 here, which comes down from above like a garage door alongside the rest of the flood channel, again during heavy rains, so as to make sure the water levels ahead of us remain the same at all times, and don't wash out any of the restaurants or businesses along the way, where you want a great visual aid just how bad flooding got here for that flood, September 9th, 1921. To the left of our boat, we're sailing by the Jurien Hotel. This building became the Jurien in 1999, but originally it was a city public service building in the early 20th century, where for that flood, September 9th, 1921, floodwaters reached to the top of the first floor windows right here, getting to over 10 feet above street level, the downtown area all around us. Over 50 people lost their lives, and there was millions of dollars in property damage. It was not the first nor the most recent. Right next door to the Mercado Hotel, just past it, which used to be home to the L. Frank Saddlery in the early 20th century, which used to provide saddles and harnesses to Theodore Roosevelt and his Rough Riders during the Spanish-American War, famous Mexican revolutionary Francisco Pancho Villa, Allied forces during World War I. We will sail underneath Salinas Bridge right here, named in honor of the famous Tejano singer Selena Quintanilla Perez, after Jennifer Lopez sat right here on this footbridge. We're seen during the movie Selena in 1997. If you all recall, was her mainstream breakthrough role. Filmed right here on this footbridge behind us. We're seen during the evening, and afterwards Jennifer Lopez spent the night in La Mansión del Rio Hotel to the left of our boat. Spanish for the mansion on the river. It was founded over a century ago in 1853 as the St. Mary's School for Boys. The latter became home to St. Mary's Law School in 1934, and then was purchased by 2 former students of St. Mary's in 1966. Who then reopened it 2 years later, 1968, La Mansión del Rio Hotel. Where you look at La Mansión del Rio Hotel here, just past it, you'll see this very tall building right here, whose walls form a very sharp corner, less than 90 degrees. As a result, this tall building up here creates a really awesome little optical illusion along the riverwalk, where as we sail out from underneath the Wall Street Bridge on the other side, you look way up to the left of the boat. From this view, this tall building here looks like a tall slab wall without the columns. This right here was founded in 1930 as the Next General Hospital. At the time, the first full-service, fully air-conditioned hospital in the entire United States. Unfortunately, they had to sell the property 3 years ago when it reopens. It's supposed to be reopening as a Marriott hotel, right alongside the North Square up ahead of us here, otherwise known as the nightlife of the river, all around us here at this point. Where right in the heart of the North Square is the Hyatt Regency Hotel up in front of our boat above Precious Street Bridge, which has the Alamo just on the other side of it. As a result, the Hyatt is only 16 floors tall. They wanted to make it taller when they founded it in 1981, but the San Antonio Conservation Society convinced its owners to scale it down to size so that it wouldn't cast a shadow on the Alamo during sunset. Sailing by the old Casino Club building, coming up to the rod of our boat here. Founded up here in 1927 as a social club with German immigrants. Now it's home to a Saltgrass Steakhouse restaurant here, however, as well as an apartment complex on the very top, where Elaine Huckman used to live. She was the widow of Robert Harvey Harold Huckman. Robert Harvey Harold Huckman was the architect who designed the entire riverwalk all around us. This was all his vision right here. Robert Huckman designed all of the sidewalks, staircases, bridges, benches, everything you see around us here. Finally, under much pressure, the Works Projects Administration came down here and built the riverwalk all around us from March 27, 1939 until March 14, 1941. Just under 2 full years. Last building at the corner here. If you look up on this balcony on street level, you'll see Robert Huckman's old office sign with his initials. R.H.H. Huckman, followed by AIA, which stands for American Institute of Architects. You look at Robert Huckman's old office sign, just down from it, you'll see a bust of Robert Huckman at the base of the staircase here as well, along with a few plaques around here that tell a little bit more about his history. In case anyone wants to come down here later, read up on him, learn a little bit more. Like I said, he should have shot over here again in 1941, right after the Riverwalk was completed. Itself the first and oldest restaurant along the entire Riverwalk. Founded here in 1946 by the Bear family, it's also the first restaurant here to have riverside dining, as well as the dinner boats along the river, which every restaurant now have to this day. In fact, more information on those dinner boats, say for future reference, in case you come back down here again. All you need to do is contact our company's website, Go Rio Cruises, with the Alamo, the coveted title of most visited tourist destination in all of Texas, which has made it much safer down here for the military, which is a good thing since San Antonio, very big military town as well. Birthplace in fact of the US 71 within the enlisted branch of the United States Air Force comes for basic training, earning it the nickname the Gateway to the Air Force. Now, to the right of our boat here, you'll see this big metal sculpture that was put up here 2 Aprils ago of these 2 giant metal flowers that were built using spare bicycle parts. This right here is a sculpture that's named Bloom. It was designed by a local artist down here named Leticia Huerta. If you look at Bloom here, just past it, continuing to look up to the rod of the boat in the sky here, you'll see what was the centerpiece for the World's Fair in '68. The Tower of America's right up here. Founded up here that year in 1968, and at the time it stood as the tallest freestanding tower in the entire United States of America, as it is 750 feet to the top of the antenna, just a little bit taller than the Seattle Space Needle, and retained that title as tallest freestanding tower in the United States of America for a good 28 years until the Stratosphere in Las Vegas was founded in 1996. That Tower of America is now still open up there to this day in the Hemisphere Plaza, which is a city park to this day. On the other side, the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center, which is at the end of this extension way to the rod of our boat at this fork here. Statue right here named Stargazer that was designed by a Mexican artist named Pedro Reyes, which depicts a woman looking at a star that she's holding in her right hand, and Stargazer. It's put up here in March earlier this year. I'm going sailed by Stargazer into the River Center extension here, which itself was added on later. Dug up here down to 5 feet deep the rest of the way down in the mid-80s, so that they could extend this man-made area of the river all the way up to the River Center Mall. The River Center Mall was founded in 1988, but before they founded the River Center Mall, they wanted to put these two Marriott hotels here in 1979. The Marriott on the left, over on the other side of Common Street, they had no trouble putting up. The Marriott to the right of our boat, in its spot here, used to sit the old Fairmont Hotel, an abandoned building, which they wanted to tear down to make room for this Marriott. The San Antonio Conservation Society got involved and claimed that the Fairmont Hotel up here was too historic to tear down. We back here loaded it onto 288 tires and 30 steel beams, and then wrapped it up with steel cables, which are connected to trucks, which dragged that 1,600-ton Fairmont Hotel from March 30th until April 4th in 1985, just about 6 blocks south into the west behind us, to its new location at South Alamo and Web Streets, but then reopened as a first-class hotel. And in its old spot, we were then able to put the Marriott Riverwalk back behind us here. Followed, of course, by the River Center Mall right here, whose heart we're entering into right here. Itself the second largest mall here in all of San Antonio, beaten out only by the North Star Mall on the north side of Loop 410 in San Pedro. It is, however, the only mall here in all of San Antonio with a river going right into its very center, hence River Center, which has over 100 stores and restaurants here, 2 movie theaters, regular AM movie theater, plus an IMAX theater, a much taller and wider screen, and also a couple of neat little virtual reality simulator rides and jungle jump on the very top floor here as well. Statue was eventually placed just around this one turn, up to the bottom of our boat, in the corner up here. The baby Jesus in the center, on top of a Bible.
I got it.
He was a 12th century Catholic patron saint of lost and stolen items and children, as well as the patron saint of Portugal, in order to set up missions so that they could convert some of the local natives down here, and also create a defensive border against French-occupied Louisiana, since French and Spanish empires were major rivals with each other. The territory, the Americas at the time. One expedition was sent out in 1691, which came upon this river on June 13th of that year, where they met a very friendly Payaya Indian tribe camped along this river's banks, who had previously named the river Yaniguana, word in their language meaning clear and refreshing waters. So Daniel Malzane, Catholic missionary with that expedition party, gave some gifts to those Indians as a sign of friendship, and then himself performed the first Catholic Mass here along this river on that day of June 13th, 1691, which was the feast day, St. Anthony de Padua, right there behind us, June 13th. So, Daniel Malzane himself went ahead and named the river San Antonio. Once again, Spanish for St. Anthony. Friendship right here, given to us by the country of Mexico originally in 2002 to signify decades of friendship between the United States, Mexico, and Canada. It was designed up here, in fact, by a world-famous Mexican architect whose real name is Enrique Carbajal, although he is more popularly known most architectural circles under the nickname of Sebastian.
So we're gonna enjoy dinner here at Cafe LA. We have not eaten here before. Nice seats.